What is going on, everyone? We are back with another music reaction. I'm Depraved.
I'm Hellcat.
And together we are...
HellaDepraved.
Yes, we are. And super excited for this one.
We are.
Gawne dropped this a few days ago.
This was last Friday, so almost a week at this point. And apparently, this is a very deep one.
Giggity.
That's what she said. No, so we're going to try and put on our serious faces, but if you know us, you know that's possibly improbable.
He's lost because Atlas is...
Yeah, they're separated at this point.
Yeah.
The separation is killing them slowly.
With this song.
With this song, right. No, I really love the direction that Gawne has, like the trajectory he's taken with his original stuff. Loved, obviously, the collabs with Atlas, but I'm really interested in this more introspective, deeper, very personal side that he showed us in the last couple of his own. I mean, he did it with Atlas too, but it's like he kept going by himself.
Right.
So I'm very interested in this new one and what kind of personal we're getting this time.
Right. Alright, so we're going to react to this. If you guys have already seen it, if not, click the link in the description below. Hop on over to all things coming back in seconds for commentary, reaction, breakdown, comedy channel. And what that means is we will pause for any and or all of the above. It's time to slash down, break it down. This is Gawne.
With Lost. Do you know how many bruises I'd have on my face if I wore a clock that size on my wrist?
Right.
I would be constantly beating myself up. That's
why I don't wear watches.
Me either. Well, plus that band type thing.
Sucks.
It does not work with hair.
Yeah, I've got arm hair that it's always...
Yeah, it doesn't work with hair, period. Yeah.
Sucks. Alright.
Sorry. I got lost.
I didn't want to say goodbye. Don't want to say goodbye. Got no tears left to cry. You've been on my mind, and I cannot hear this time. I'm really not okay inside. I've got no strength left to try.
Alright.
What a pretty voice.
Video-wise, I can already see kind of where this is going. He's seeing her everywhere he goes. As if she's actually there with him.
Right.
And she's really not. So he's seeing her out in the forest, seeing her in the backseat of the car. I'm guessing in the video...
He buried her in the woods.
She's probably dead.
He buried her in the woods. Yeah.
Could be.
Look, there's two types of people in this world, okay? I see acreage, and I see interpersonal arguing, and... haunting, and that's where my brain goes. So maybe don't test me. No, I'm sure that this is very sweet. They split amicably. He's haunted by the thought of her around. I don't know that she's necessarily dead.
I don't know.
Like, does my mind go there and her buried? Absolutely.
I'm wondering if they don't get into a car wreck while they're arguing.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't talking about him killing her.
Oh, I was. Just to clarify, I definitely was.
Accidents happen.
Right. We'll go with that. Beautiful area. And gorgeous voice, whoever's singing this.
Not okay inside. I've got no strength left to try.
I'm not one to cry, but tears are spewing down. Left me here to die, and look, I'm ruined now. You've been on my mind, I'm still confused about so many damn things. It's been hard without you around. As I trek this troubled path, 3 a.m. on the highway, driving straight until I'm out of gas. Call your number, but you never hit me back. I'ma put this fucking car through a brick wall. I would rather crash than have to last without you, baby. I'm out my mind, fine, no doubt that I'm crazy, but I yell at the sky, God, why is my heart now breaking? We used to fight and yell so loud till the house was shaking. I'm fucking out of patience.
You left me here to die. I didn't want to say.
Why does this remind me of Love the Way You Lie? I mean, it has sort of the same vibe to a degree.
part of me... okay, so that's not the kind of vibe I'm getting, because I'm not seeing this as a abusive situation.
No, but talking about the walls shaking because they used to fight so loud. But it was like him talking about he'd rather put his car through a brick wall than live without her. That's what I was talking about, not the abusive relationship, but more like the severe codependence in the relationship and the passionate nature of the relationship, whether that's arguing or being codependent, not necessarily abuse. But I don't know, it's probably also the female singer for the hook, you know. I don't know.
Right.
It's really good. What were you gonna say? You paused. Did I like blank out your mind there?
Yeah.
Pretty much. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You left me here to die. I didn't want to say goodbye.
Oh, I'm changing how I think she dies in this. OD.
Oh. Okay. All right. What gave you that?
I don't know. Again, because I'm still holding to her dying. Because he's talking to her in the past tense, but not in a way like a past relationship past tense.
Right.
Or he's talking about her.
Although, there was that one line about him driving until he was out of gas and he calls her, but she never hits him back.
Right.
Which
'Cause
could
she's not
imply either. Yeah, no, but it could imply either. That she's alive and has ghosted him entirely.
Could be.
Or... I mean, I should say that I love the song. I love the way you lie. I love the way you lie. So... the fact that sonically it somewhat reminds me of it is a good thing. His flow, none of it, I don't feel like he's replicating M. That's not what I'm saying. It's like the tone of the song to me sounds codependently similar. And I don't say codependence in like a totally negative aspect, because I think a lot of us have been here. Not with somebody necessarily dying on us, but like leaving us.
Right.
And being lost and just not sure who we are without them and how to move on.
Right.
Yeah.
You left me here to die. I didn't want to say goodbye. Don't want to say goodbye. Got no tears left to cry. You've been on my mind, and I cannot heal this time. I'm really not okay inside. I've got no strength left to try.
But to me, you were like my heroin high, arrogant guy who thought I would never lose you. It's embarrassing, can barely get by, my screws loose. You found a new dude who treats you better than I used to. And can I ask you something personal, just as a friend? Do you ever even think about me now and then? Not on occasion, I guess I'm probably wallowing. Kinda famous now, though loneliness is following. So I pop Klonopin every fucking day now. Guess I got a problem, and I'll admit, but you ain't here to save me, though I'm way down. Gobble every pill and then I swallow to the bottom of the bottle and I lay down. They say that damage from the past can be healed from the sands of an hourglass. Time fixes alright. Years pass and I ain't really alright. Somewhere along this road I done lost sight.
You left me.
Okay, so it's a failed relationship. That takes the fun out of it for me. But
Yeah, but I called it.
what are you doing?
Which, again, relatable. It's absolutely relatable without somebody being deceased. That is the thing.
Down that way.
And probably very true. It's really hard to make it in this industry. So, like, I understand, at least with the music video tie-in, pushing himself to excel at his craft, but that makes you lose sight of the people around you, where the time's going while you're recording, writing. I mean, you have to push yourself to make it in the industry, but it's also something you enjoy, and so you just kind of get lost in
Right.
the time, and it's not great for a relationship. A lot of things aren't, you know? And if you're not real great at time scheduling type stuff and taking a break, and a lot of people who are creative are not good at taking a break. Because, like, when your juices are flowing, they're flowing, and you better not just, like, clock out and take off. Like, you got to keep going with it. But
he had said something, and it's something that I've never really agreed with.
That time heals all.
And it's that time heals all wounds. The problem is, I don't think time heals any wounds. What was the other counter quote that I've heard to it? It leaves scars. Oh, how the fuck is this said? Something about leaving scars that we just learn to deal with.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. It's like, as time progresses, does it actually heal the wound? Like, if you have somebody in your family that you were close to that dies. No.
We just learn to cope without it.
You learn to cope. But that hole where that person existed never, like, nobody replaces it. Nothing heals it per se. It does scar over so that it's not something fresh and bleeding and you're confronted with it all day, every day. You kind of think about it less and less in terms of how much it hurts. But again, it's a coping thing. It's not
right.
A healing. Yeah, I really, honestly, I hate that.
Maybe he'll come out here and drown her.
I hate that phrase because I feel like it doesn't give... It doesn't give the right...
It's a positive thing.
Well,
And
but it's also very dismissive.
Well, it's... The reason I dislike it is the same reason I hate fucking motivational posters.
Right. Well...
It's like...
Just be better.
No,
I hadn't thought of that, you know?
Like motivational posters are like, you're supposed to read them and get this newfound motivation to pursue what it was you were doing in the first place. Or there's these things that are supposed to kind of give you hope and things like that. And I guess I'm just a bleak fucking person.
I want to rip them off the wall.
But, like, for me, maybe it's just more of a realistic
It honestly, it's realistic. That is what it is, yeah.
Is motivational sayings don't really help me.
Right. I honestly am probably
like,
just drop dead cynical, but
right.
You know, saying that, I also feel like, so take that and then add on to it how dismissive I feel it is to the person who not only is struggling with the scars that have been left, but who finds the strength inside of themselves to keep going. Like, it's just very dismissive. It's almost like telling somebody who's depressed, well, have you tried being happy? It's stupid. It's dismissive. It does... Anyway, I think people heal in different ways and at different times, and it's like someone may mourn something for a very long time, and to tell them, well, isn't it time to move on? I'm sorry, is somebody on a schedule? Do we have a schedule for this kind of stuff?
Like, and here's what I'm saying about something. This is just a for whatever reason, I just thought of this perfect example of what I mean by time doesn't necessarily heal the wounds; it allows us to cope. Okay, read a story not too long ago about an older gentleman who him and his wife had been married for 50, 60 years.
Right.
And every single Monday on his way home from work, he would stop and pick her up flowers. Eventually she passes away.
Right.
He still stops every Monday, gets flowers, but takes them to her grave instead of...
That's sweet. Right.
You don't heal from that, you cope.
And that is his coping
And that's how he
mechanism,
copes.
Yeah.
So...
Again, like, I just feel it's very dismissive to the person that is dealing with the pain. Now, me personally, have I dealt with something this intense, like the situation he's talking about with the Klonopin, so on and so forth?
Right.
No. And that is because when I'm done with a relationship, I'm done with it. And I have not been in the position where I have been left by anybody of importance, if that makes sense. I have normally ended all the relationships that could have caused me they caused me emotional trauma because I needed to end them, and I needed to end them like years before. Let's be honest there. But those were the ones that I was so invested in, both time and loyalty and heart and everything, that I could have been in this position.
Right.
But I've certainly dealt with people, like friends, very close people to me, that have been this distraught years later, you know?
Right.
I always think that's hard. Like, if they move on and they're super happy, then that probably wasn't your soulmate type intended person, but like part of you isn't able to move on, and so you think they are, and so everybody, you always see the ghost of them. You're always comparing the new person to them. You're always, you know, like, that's got to be rough.
Right.
Really alright. Somewhere along this road I done lost sight.
You left me here to die. I didn't want to say goodbye. Don't want to say goodbye. Got no tears left to cry. You've been on my mind, and I cannot hear you this time.
Maybe she's gonna kill him.
I know. I mean, like, kind of feels that way.
How many times are you
like,
gonna die in your music videos, man?
well, you know. I mean, like, I kind of feel like at this point, maybe he's verging on crazy stalker dude. I'm just saying.
Looks like she's more stalking him. I mean, he gets out of his car because the car is messed up, and then all of a sudden she's there.
Right. Yanking him into bed.
No, I'm talking about standing outside the car staring at him.
No, I know, but like the switch.
Right.
And on my mind, and I cannot hear you this time. I'm really not okay inside. I've got no strength left to try. You left me here to die. I didn't want to say goodbye. Don't want to say goodbye. Got no tears left to cry. You've been on my mind, and I cannot hear you this time. I'm really not okay inside. I've got no strength left to try.
I like it.
Sonically, that was beautiful. I really think that's, I mean, it's a very deep track, and obviously we tend to fuck shit up because that's just how our brains are wired. That's what we do, people. But this was very well put together, and it's this was probably a hard one to write in terms of like, how do you put into words this sort of like lingering, haunting.
Well, it also goes back to the old saying that does make sense. You never really know what you have until it's gone. So sometimes you want to get rid of that thing. But
I was just thinking to myself, well, you know, on the upside, sometimes that's good.
I do think everybody...
I was also thinking like money, yeah.
I do think everybody... Maybe not to a relationship extent, but everybody in life learns, or at least experiences, the negative side of that lesson.
Right.
Where you have something that you cherish.
Of value,
or priceless, more specifically.
Right. Well, I meant personal value.
That when it's gone,
yeah,
you realize how much you enjoyed it being around, whether it was another person, a special item to you.
My first cat.
Right.
I still think about her all the time.
And yeah, everybody does deal with that in some way, shape, or form, at some point in their life.
Right.
And it sucks. Unfortunately, for a lot of people, it is somebody.
Right.
This is a prime example, and honestly, I can relate to this in more of a... I guess similar situation, but not to like this extent. Where... For me, it's like my kids. Back when I was married to my ex-wife and, you know, I was around my kids all the time. I never took advantage of being with my kids. And when the divorce did happen and we split up and stuff, all of a sudden, it was like, I don't have my kids around.
They're not here every day.
I only get to see them once...
In a blue moon.
Every 2.5 weeks.
Which feels like a blue moon, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
Especially with how fast kids grow.
Right.
And change mentally. Like, I don't have my own kids, but just being around your kids, and they're already, I mean, they were preteen, basic teenager when I got here, but just a month apart with the preteen, it was like she went from being interested in one thing to just completely, all of a sudden, she's total teenager.
Right.
And that's just...
It's life.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's everybody has experienced this with something of value, and most being living, like if it's an animal, if it's a family member, if it's a interpersonal relationship, kids, but maybe not to the intensity that he's describing here. But I mean, very well done. Very well done. I mean, I did not expect anything less. But this was a damn good one.
Agreed. All right. If you guys like the video, slash that like button, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Comment down below what you think of Gawne with Lost. Also, comment down below if there's anything else you guys want to see reacted to. Check the description below for all things.
I'm sorry. Every time I read Lost, I want to add boys to the end of it. I expected vampires. I don't know. Young Kiefer Sutherland. Anyway, push our buttons. Yeah, one or the other. Nobody knows. Right. Push our buttons. Join us on our other social media platforms. Mostly Twitter if you want a quicker response.
We love y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Cannot wait to see you to pray people later.